Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I'm sweating it out here because about 3 minutes before I was supposed to go live, my internet decided to take a crap. It's always fun, right? So I was able to get it up and running again. And so I think we are live. I think things are good. You can see me and you can hear me. So come on in and let me know. Let me get my comments up here. So yeah, if everything's good, let me know because I was in panic mode trying to get it to be like, what the heck? What the heck, internet? Just what I need on a Wednesday. So, how are we, friends? There's my friends. I know. And it just was like, why? Why? Everything was working fine today, just the internet. What do? You like it, you love it, you hate it. It's all good. Anyway, friends, today is What's Up Wednesday. So, we are going to do a little bit of stamping today. So, I'm glad that you guys are on with me. Thank you if you are sharing my video. I love that. So I'm going to give away my projects today. So if you like, love, comment, and share, you'll be entered into the drawing. Stop back next week and see if you are the winner chicken dinner, because today's projects are pretty cool. So if you were on with me last week, I showed you the cow cards, and my team leader, Cindy Fodor, had made me a card, like a fun fold card using the cows, and we weren't really quite sure what it was called. I was calling it like the Batwing card. Somebody did post and said it's an M card. And so we're going to create that today because I promised you I would come back and make that and then show you a couple other things using Softly Sophisticated. And that is a free Saleabration offering. So good morning, Sharon, Tisha, Tina. Oh my gosh, Thelma, Lori, Terry. Hey, Terry. Yeah, everybody's on today. I love it. So hopefully all is well with you guys. I do want to give a quick shout out to you guys who joined my farmer and I for our first, well, it's not even our first Facebook Live. It was our second Facebook Live on Monday. He was kind of impressed that we had over 40 people joining us, and I think the video has had over 400 views. So maybe the farmer will be viral. Who knows? Anyway, it wasn't as bad as he thought it would be. He did have to relax himself a little bit because he's not big on sharing, what he does, and I think it's always important. So during COVID, I had convinced him in June to go do a live video tour of the farm. So we did that in June during COVID when, we were locked down and everybody was extremely bored with nothing else to do. So we just kind of toured around the farm and talked a little bit about that. So it'd been maybe 3 years since we had done that. So it was time, to put him out of his comfort zone, right? Making stuff outside the box. So thank you guys very much who joined us. And maybe in another 3 or 4 years, he'll go live again. Who knows? So, but we are here for my part is stamping. That's what I do. That's what I love. I do not work on the farm anymore. And so I love to do my stamping. Actually, Lori asked if I can link the older video. We actually have a Facebook page for the farm. It is called Breckland Farms. Since I'm not working on the farm, I don't really do anything with it anymore because I don't really have anything to update. But there are pictures and videos and all that good stuff. You can go back and watch those. But it is Breckland Farms on Facebook, BRECHLAND. So you can pull that up and see if those videos are up there, because when I was working on the farm every day, I really tried to kind of have some enjoyment out of it and just share, what all was going on. And there's probably some photos there of some chopping and the hoof trimming that we talked about. So anyway, all right, back to stamping. We're going to do a little fun fold here and a couple fun cards. And again, I'm going to give those away. So make sure you're love, commenting, and sharing so that you get into the drawing to give these cards away. One thing that I want to real quick talk about, let me see if I can switch over some video here, is, will this get bigger? Now can you hear me? All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds to see if that is working now. So just give me a comment and let me know if we're back on track okay. Yep, okay, cool. Sorry about that. I did not remember. I do have over in my stamping area, I have some things muted so we don't have feedback. So anyway, what I was going to share with you guys is the 12 weeks of spring. Okay, so the 12 weeks is starting this Friday. 7 a.m. you are going to get a free tutorial right into your inbox. And I team up with Betsy Kreider, Connie Heisey, and Mary Ellen Stites. So you don't have to do a thing. This is totally free. We just create with some things out of the new catalog, give you guys some inspiration. You're welcome to print them, copy them, use them. It's just a free gift for you guys because you are nice and we like you. So all you need to do is be on my mailing list. So if you're already on my mailing list, you're automatically going to get a tutorial every Friday for the next 12 weeks. If you're not, I think there might be a link, or I will put a link in the description of this video so that you can sign up and you'll get them. So every week for the next 12 weeks, you're going to get something about every Friday. Okay, so very, very cool. I hope you enjoy it. Of course, Betsy is doing some gorgeous projects with the Be Mine suite, which I have smitten, absolutely smitten with, kind of getting you rolling right into Valentine's Day. And Mary Ellen, I think, is doing everyday details. I, of course, chose the cows. So you'll have more cow projects coming to your inbox. And then Connie, I can't think of the name of the stamp set, but it's the beachy one because Connie is a beach lover. And so, of course, I chose the cows. She chose the beach. So that should take you rolling right through the next 12 weeks. And we hope you enjoy them. But you do want to make sure that you are in my mailing loop so that you guys are able to get them. All right. So now we're going to do a little switcheroo and we're going to get stamping. Okay, hopefully now I'm going to give a couple seconds here to make sure with that switching that you guys can hear me again. So just somebody comment and let me know that, yeah, you can hear okay before I get too invested, right? Oh, we got a little fuzz there. There we go. All right. Yay. Thank you guys. All righty. Okay. So we are going to work with, I mentioned Softly Sophisticated. And that is, we're going to work with the Softly Stippled Designer Series paper, totally a freebie during Saleabration with your $50 purchase. It's very pretty. These papers, I think, don't sometimes show off themselves in real as pretty as they are in real life in a catalog. But that's a freebie. We're going to work with that one. And then we're going to go with Softly Stippled. So that is page 14 of your Saleabration brochure. And this was one that I was like, okay, that's cute. Like I love the sentiments. Absolutely. The sentiments. And then it is a bundle. So you're going to get a embossing folder and the stamp set. So with your $100 purchase, this is absolutely free. Embossing folder to die for. You're going to love it. And if you're on the fence about this stamp set, I think I'm going to make you hop off. Okay. You're going to hop to the side. You're going to be like, yeah, I really do like that. That's a really cool stamp set. So, and it's because you need to see it working with each other. All righty. So let's go ahead. I'm going to show you this DSP really quick in case you guys have not purchased yet. This is the Softly Stippled Designer Series paper. Gorgeous. Loving, loving, loving. Sometimes these make me love wild wheat. And that's not always my favorite. A lot of us have said that same thing. Like we're not in love with wild wheat, but pairing them with pairing it with some of these other colors like Pool Party, Pebbled Path, Calypso Coral, you're kind of like, ooh, it's a pretty paper. And this is a 12 by 12. I just cut them down because it's so much easier to show you guys on video. Yeah, the embossing folder is nice. The other thing I'll share real quick is the mini catalog. The January through April mini does coordinate, that designer series paper coordinates with page 64, Stippled Rose Bundle. That paper is made to coordinate with it. So just in case you was wondering, we do try to have Saleabration items that coordinate with other things in our catalog. All right, let me get set up here. and we're going to get rolling. All right, so we're going to create this card first. So again, remember I said how that wild wheat pairs with colors I would not have thought of. So we're going to pair it with Calypso Coral. Beautiful. I love that. All right, so that, where do I put this? We're going to put that here. Maybe if I go up just a smidge, we'll have a little bit more work room. I don't know. Let's try and get some natural light in the studio here. Ooh, all right. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I think we are ready to roll, guys. Okay. And remember, I'm going to give these away, and I think you're going to love it. So let's go ahead and fold our wild wheat for our card base. Then I have the Calypso Coral and that softly stippled. There's the other side. Oops. And we're going to add those two together. I will also make sure, oh, this is gilt paper. Like I like this side too. Sometimes those double-sided papers make me feel guilty because I have to use one and cover one. I will make sure that the dimensions will be in the description of the video after, so that if you want to make these at home, you are totally able to do that. So what we're going to do next is take a little bit of that wild wheat ribbon and just tie that or add that to the front of our card. Alrighty. Oh, we have lots of friends. I know, Susie, right? It really is a color that I didn't, when you look at it by itself, it's not a love. You know, there's some colors you fall in love with, but I really think that accent, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. So we talked about farming, right? So this color does remind us of baby poop, the baby calves when they first poop. That's their color. Wild wheat. I guess human babies too, right? They probably do the same. I took a piece, this is a softly stippled again, and I took that and die cut it ahead of time with the scallop rectangles. Then I have another piece of wild wheat that'll go here. And then I have a piece of basic white. This one I'm going to just scrap, right? Just some scrap. You guys, did you guys think it looked like baby poop too? Maybe it's just me. It cannot be just me. I am positive it is not just me. All right. I'm going to get a little bit of scrap paper here. I would normally have my, oh, heck and heck. What's the word? My glass mat, but I'm using it over at my station for something else. So I actually record and work here, and I stamp on the other side of my studio. So a lot of times I have things already in use. Okay, now stop for a second and make sure you're doing the right layer. Okay, that's that. So this goes here. All right, so we're going to do I really appreciate you. That's going to get cut out. And on this piece here, we will stamp our, all right, I knew I wasn't alone thinking this color was kind of like poo. So we're going to stamp our leaves here. And this is what's called a two-step stamp. So that means that we can take the leaves, then the flowers are going to be separate. And we're going to just ink those up in the Calypso Coral. And you can kind of see through here. You can kind of twist it and turn it a little bit to get them to match up. You do have to do a little bit of work here to make sure when I stamp, I'll make sure and tell you. It's more difficult when I'm looking through a camera lens, but there we go. So what you'll look for is a little notch in that leaf and then that bud right there. They kind of go together. Okay, so two-step, which is nice. You can have different colors of leaves and then different colors of flowers. Yeah, I think you guys are all saying it gives off gold tones. I think absolutely, absolutely. So Stampin' Up! Just knew what they were doing when they made this. All right, so we got that layer, and then we'll layer that onto our scallop. Trust the process some, right, friends? Sometimes we see them and we're like, oh, that's not the most appealing one that I've seen. And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, but we think we like it. All right, we got to use up some nubbins here today. So Pop-Tart time. Let's add those. We'll just cut a bunch of these apart. One of my favorite things is using up the entire thing of dimensionals. All right. There we go. Still looks like baby poop. I know. It does have a baby poop vibe. Absolutely. Okay. At least it doesn't smell like baby poop. So yay for that. Sometimes I say it would be fun if some of the colors were scratch and sniff, like espresso. We had chocolate chip once, pecan pie. Like that would be yummy, but not baby poop. All righty, so we're gonna just add that with some dimensionals here. And then I'm gonna fussy cut this. So you could, if you are not into fussy cutting, right? You could stamp your sentiment absolutely right there. If you want a little bit of dimension, you can stamp it on a banner, whatever, add that there. I chose to just do a little bit of fussy cutting. And I know some of you guys like to fussy cut and some of you do not. So does everyone have paper snips? Are Stampin' Up! Paper snips? So let me know if you've got the paper snips because they are kind of key when you're doing these type of close trimming, especially when you're kind of doing a lot of rounding the corners. I think I have, also, tell me, you know, Terry, I'm not sure. I'll have to look at my calendar. Whatever day it starts is the day we're arriving. So I'm not sure what day that is offhand, but we're leaving early in the morning. So it starts, I think, in the evening. Terry was asking about our on stage, our Stampin' Up! Convention. It starts in the evening. And so whatever that is, we're coming in, or we're getting up at the butt crack of dawn and heading to Houston. There's 5 of my team coming with me to our convention. So I'm super excited about that. All righty. So yes, you have snips. Good girls. I should say good stampers. I don't know. I don't think we ever have guys on here watching us. Okay, so there's our little fussy cut. And then we'll just add a couple dimensionals. And I'm going to go with the bitty ones to give that some elevation on our card. So not too hard, but you could definitely alter it to work however you wanted to with that sentiment. Okay, so there is, I really appreciate you. And I do. All right, next step is we're going to add a little bit of linen thread. And the reason I'm doing this is you could leave it this way. Absolutely. I do want a little bow on there, but the wild wheat ribbon is just too thick. So if I tied a bow or a knot, it's just going to be too thick on there. And also it's a very small area. So we're going to do some pretty linen thread just for a little something, something on there. Then you can kind of fuss with your bow a little bit if it seems like it's too big or moving around on you. Then the final step is everything's better with bling. Am I right? So, oh, you have Fisker snips. I feel like any short, like that little short bladed handle is your benefit. Yep. So actually, Terry, my team is going to be there. I've got 5 of them. So we have plans for Saturday night, but thank you so much for asking us about that. That's lovely. Appreciate the invitation. But we are going to try and get together and have some dinner together because some of them I don't get to see. We don't live close by each other. All right. So now these, I don't want to glance over these because these are Saleabration as well. These are the opaque faceted gems, and they are available as part of your $50 freebie. So don't lose them in that little catalog. So let's add them to our card. And I'm going to go with these as Calypso. kind of maybe these, I didn't look and see. Maybe one of you guys knows what colors they actually are saying these are. Oh, let's put one. Let's put one here. That looks pretty. All right, so there we are. What do you think? Calypso Coral and Wild Wheat. Who would have thunk it? All right, so there's card number 1. I might need to do a little cleaning here, I bet. Since we're using that same stamp set. So let's get our chamois out. Do a little cleanup here. Clean up, clean up. Everybody, everywhere. Clean up, clean up. Everybody do their share. All righty. Next up is we're going to work with this baby. And I was sharing this on my social media, and some of you guys missed this embossing folder. It is in our catalog in the mini. Oh, thank you, Susie. Those gems are Calypso Coral, Pecan Pie, and Pool Party. But they will work with so many other colors, which is amazing. But yeah, thank you for checking on that. So this is the layered floral embossing folder. And look where it's hidden, right up here in that corner. So it is layered florals 3D embossing folder, $11. And trust me, you guys, if you saw some of my photos on social, you will love this embossing folder. So make sure you check it out, because here is the card we are creating. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Hopefully it's showcasing itself well with gold and pretty peacock. All right, so I did emboss it ahead of time, and this is what it'll look like. Super thick layers, which is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So we've got that pretty peacock card base. So we'll fold that in half. Oh, some of you guys got it? Yeah. Some of you need it? Yes. Yes, you do. So we're going to attach that embossed. And here's the back side of it, just as pretty. So that's what we call the deboss side, where it's pushed in, and then the other side is where it's pushed out. So you can decide. Good morning, friends. If you're coming on late, that's all good. Come in and hang out with us. We're working with the layered florals embossing folder at the moment, and wondering how many of us missed it in the catalog. Sometimes I think they need to kind of really put them a little more front and center for us, not in the corner where the fold of the catalog is. Okay, so there's pretty peacock with a layer of gold, gold foil. Okay, so now this is in the mini as well. There's some peacock and gold ribbon. So we're going to add that. And I will be sure you guys get the recipe once this video is done, so that if you want to make these at home, you'll have the dimensions. So we're just going to wrap that around there and tuck that. I always put a little bit of adhesive on top of those ribbon ends so that they don't come off. And we'll add that to our pretty peacock base. And that, it's just gorgeous. Oh my Lanta, I love these two color combos. All right, now what I did was I have a little scrap here, and these two, I wanted to be sure to show you the dies. I'm gonna say, I feel like I want to say Peaceful Moments. They are in the new mini catalog, the one with the hummingbird. So that one, Thoughtful Expressions, Peaceful Moments, Thoughtful Expressions. Somebody's going to have to go on a scavenger hunt and help me out. But I love these stitched labels. They are awesome. I know there's still some things in here that match that stamp, or that stamp set, but there's also plenty of pieces that you could just get this and not even worry about these couple extra pieces if you didn't want the stamp set. But it has some nice sentiments in it as well. So we're going to do You're in My Thoughts. Oh, guess who just showed up at my house? the dog didn't even bark. That's crazy. I just took a little quick peek out my door and I see a big pile of boxes. So guess who was here? All right, so you're in my thoughts. We did that in the pretty peacock. And then on the big one, we're going to do old olive with our leaves. Thank you guys, Debbie and Terry. Thank you. Thoughtful Expressions is where this die set comes from. Thank you guys so much. I look before I get rolling on these videos, and then I'm just like, I don't even remember. Not a clue. Okay, so now we have two options here. One is that we could do what we did before and just stamp those flowers right in that hole, which I think I'm going to do just for time's sake. So let's get out the Calypso Coral again, and we'll stamp those flowers. Actually, you want to do this regardless, and I'll let me tell you why. All right, so we're going to line these guys up again, just kind of looking through your clear, which is nice. So we're going to stamp it right there. So we can leave it like that. That looks fine. For time's sake, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm also going to stamp them here on some scrap paper. So the reason why I stamp it both times is I am not fussy cutting that little turd right there. I mean, you could, but it's so tiny. I'm like, no way, I'm not. You can stay stamped on there. But on this one, I actually fussy cut them out and laid them over top of these flowers. So you could put them on dimensions. Mine are just on glue dots, right? But just to have a little bit more dimensions, you can do a little fussy fuss on there. So let's add that with some dimensionals, or Pop-Tarts as we like to call them. We're going to use the same set of dies on the next card. So the next card is that fun fold that I showed you with the cows. I was calling it the Batwing card, but somebody said it's an M card. So we're gonna make that one here next. Okay, so we've got that on there. Then we can put our sentiment here. So a little adhesive on this side and just a small pop dot on that side. I am noticing I forgot my bling, but that's okay. I can add that later. Okay, so there we are so far. I'll tuck this in because I might cut them a little bit later. Then I'm going to do the same thing that we did on that first card. I want a little bow, but I don't want it to be extra thick. So I've just got some of our gold twine, and we'll tie ourselves a pretty bow. Pretty bow on here, maybe. We'll see how my left-handedness is going today. So my farmer and I took a day off yesterday, which is not normal for us, but we took the day off and went and had a ski day with some friends. So that was his reward for hanging out on Facebook for an hour with us on Monday, as we took a day off together and went and took a little adventure. So we got Elmo out and we took him, and we did some tailgating after we skied with our friends, which was fun. We had grilled ham and cheese in the parking lot and hung out with their camper van and our camper van. So I think theirs is Vincent Van Gogh and ours is Elmo. So they're friends. We had camper van friends. It's good to do that some days, right, guys? Take a day off, a mental health day. All right. So there we go. I added, I wonder what gems I used for that one. The festive ones that are red and green and gold and silver. I think that's what I used. And I put the gold on there, a little in the flower centers and some on that. That really does make it pop. I think it needs those gems for sure. Okay, so everybody's still with me and ready for this last fun card. First of all, I got to make some room for myself and get a drink because my throat is very dry. Love it. Yay. Yeah, I didn't even take any pictures. Like we just enjoyed the day. It wasn't bad. It got up to 42 though. Festive pearls. Man, Terry's on it with me. Thank you, assistant. All right, let me grab a drink and get these supplies. All righty. There's the stamp set. Forgot to show you that. And here is that embossing folder. Okay, so it doesn't look like too much, until you actually see this, what you can do with it. So it's is that coming through? A very pretty embossing folder and a cool stamp set. So do you guys like this more now that you're seeing some projects done with it? I do love the fonts, absolutely loving the fonts, but liking it more after I started to play with it. Okay, so got to do some scoring to start off with. And here's the card that my team leader Cindy made. So it folds back this way, and then these little wings fall out. So that's why I was saying it was like a little bat wing or seagulls, but somebody said it was an M. So I guess that's where you see the M. Yeah. So that's her version with the cow. And we're going to make my version, which actually this is from another demonstrator, but for the life of me, I cannot remember her name because I sit down and just craft, I make them all. And I'm a copier. Like I totally copy. Don't have too many original ideas. It just hurts my head. And there's so many. The internet is just full of amazing things that amazing people share. So we've got a piece of thick basic white here. And I do like the thick because it just gives it a little bit more stability when it's flipping and flopping like that. Okay, so I do like thick white. It is 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. At 5 1/2, 8, the right All right, guys. We're going to see if this is back on again. So I'm going to give a couple seconds here and see if you guys are catching this again. So somebody come on and comment that you can see me and hear me okay. Otherwise, I might just have to stop the streaming and do a brand new video. So we'll see. Oh, okay, we're back again. Oh my gosh, I did it. Yay. All right, so I'm going to roll through this one pretty quick and we're going to hope that internet holds out, right? Awesome. Okay, so where we were, we had a 4¼ by 10. We are working with this card and making this little M or bat wing card. So we got the 4¼ by 10. We did our scores and we're just folding these score lines, okay? So hopefully internet will play nice. Thank you guys so much for hanging around and seeing if this would work again. So the internet, she's a lovely thing. All righty. And you can always catch the replay too. So if we had some friends that we probably lost, we can always catch the replay. Okay, so this is what you're going to end up with. So you've got these little scores here that are close together. These are a little bit wider. Okay, they're about a ½ inch. And then you have these two here on the side. Okay, so I will be putting everything in the description of the video after for all the dimensions. So you don't have to worry about trying to get them and write them down now. When the video is done, just scroll down and you'll see all the score lines, the measurements, all that good stuff for all of the cards. So now what we'll do, I showed you that embossing folder that is paired with the Softly Sophisticated. So it looks like this on one side, or you can flip it and have it look like this. So I did them ahead of time, and we're going to add them to the front and the inside of those panels. So I put a lot of adhesive on. Green glue would probably be a good friend here because I want them to stick really well. So we've got doing a little white on white for this one, but you could add designer series paper. That would be cool too. Kind of make it your own. Experiment. All right, so we've got those on our front panel. Okay, so that's our front. That's what that'll look like. And then they're going to go on the inside panel here as well. Okay. These I think are 2x4, but I don't want to quote myself on that until I actually look at my notes. So that's why it's always good to have them written down for you guys. You don't have to keep rewatching the video then either, which is always helpful. Okay, so we've got those two on the inside. So we've got some designer series paper. This is the same paper that matches the Thoughtful Expressions that we've been working with. Okay, so I have those go together, and this is going to be the spine in the middle. So I think I'm going to do just a little bit of green glue on that. Let's see if this one is, yep, this is a full one. Okay, so we're going to take that and just put that right here on the spine, because you can see that on the front of the card when it's closed and when it's open. So we'll make that pretty. Then we're going to add this pattern right at the edge here. Oops, slide to the left. There we go. And then we'll have this pattern on the right. And the reason why to have this on here, so like I said, I was following Susan Campfield. That's who it was. Susan Campfield was so that you can get the more bang for your buck out of the designer series paper by making them 2x4. You could make a piece that's that whole width, but if you're trying to get more out of your paper, you can make them 2x4 and then just add these little strips there. It's kind of a nice color combo. Yeah, boho blue. I do love that one. Right, so we're rocking along here. Looking pretty good so far. Okay, so that's what we'll have for the inside, and then that's the close for the front. So all we have to do then is a little bit of stamping. And so I told you how much I love those thoughtful expressions. We might need a little smidge of glue here. I'll get that later and tack those down. I didn't have quite enough glue there. So all from the same set, I'm going to do hello there because I haven't used that one yet. So hello there on that one. Did I put, oh, nope. I thought I maybe had a fingerprint. It's dog hair. Always accessorizing with the dog hair. Now we'll do some Lost Lagoon for our leaves. Pool party would work, green would work, but this Lost Lagoon really comes out looking a little bit different, which I kind of was vibing with. And then, did I clean that one? I think I did. That one is going to be boho blue for those flowers. And I will be sharing, I've been working with a lot with this card or this bundle. And so it's going to be part of my monthly make and take class coming up here in February. So you're going to start to see some more of the things I did with it. I'm having a hard time seeing and talking, so I have to be quiet for a second. Be quiet for a second, Jody. There we go. So I will be sharing some samples because I think you guys are going to really, really love this bundle as much as I do. So follow my Jody Breckbill Stampin' Queen Facebook and subscribe on YouTube, and you'll see some stuff, which actually I can show more on Facebook, right, than I can on the YouTube. All right, I added some dimensionals on there, so we have lots of like poof. Okay, now the one thing you need to be careful of when you're putting this together, let's poof these two as well. Love so much dimension, yeah. Let's get that one on there. Now you do want to be careful when this folds because you don't want it to be on the edge, that little score there. So you need to make sure it does open and close. So we're going to add some dimension, but just here. Okay, so we want this to be raised up, but we don't want to have it glued flat down. So what I did was just did the dimensionals right there. And added the flower over top. Is there a trick to stamp the flowers? I don't know, Terry. It's kind of on time is still counting. So if you guys are still on, let's see. If not, I'm just going to go ahead and act like I'm finishing this video because then you guys can catch the replay. So Terry had asked if there was a trick to lining up the stamp. I'll tell you what I look for is that little bud right there. And that's where I put the bud in. All right, I'm going to end here. Thanks you guys so much for joining me. My connection is just too spotty. to be